So it's Tuesday evening, and I left our house at about noon on Monday Eastern time and flew to Washington Dulles Airport from Dayton. I had a couple hour layover, and then overnight flew from Washington Dulles over to Frankfurt, Germany. It was my first time there in that airport. It was a smooth flight. It was a little over 8 hours, and so it's still a long flight, but it wasn't too terrible. And then had a 3 hour layover in Frankfurt. That's kind of when the jet lag began to hit me, and then about 2 hour flight here to Skopje. And so that makes the time when I got in around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, their time here. And so as always, flying over to Europe is difficult because of that, for the jet lag's sake. And so just I got a chance to come to the place where I'm staying. Tim Bentley, the missionary I'm working with, picked me up at the airport. We had a chance to have some fellowship, and I got a chance just to kind of get settled in here, get a little bit of rest, and then we're going to go out to eat in a little bit and eat dinner. And I'm going to try to get onto Macedonian time tonight, because tomorrow we're starting our ministry. I'll be traveling down to a church in Strumica and working with a pastor that I know from when we were here. Just had a chance to do a prayer walk through the city. Love the culture here. There's so many people walking around. It's very common for people to walk, and so just a great time to reconnecting and really enjoy it. Remember how beautiful it was, and just wanted to show you the view off the balcony here in the apartment that I'm staying in. I was surprised. I forgot about how many mountains there are. There was a bunch of snow-capped mountains on the flight coming in, and so this is an area of Skopje, the capital city here in Macedonia. And looking forward to some rest tonight, some study time. I believe God put some messages on my heart, and so we hit it hard tomorrow. And every day we'll have something going on for the next several days. And so thank you for praying. The travel was smooth, and God's faithful, and He's going to do what only He can do. So it's Thursday morning. I'm back in the city of Skopje. Yesterday, Tim and I traveled out to the city of Strumica, just over 2 hours away, and met with a pastor who leads a church out there. His name's Tony. I knew him and his family from my first time that we were here. And so it was a really great time of reunion, spending some time catching up, having dinner together, just talking about the condition here in Macedonia and the things that are happening. One of the big challenges here in the Balkans is that many of the young people, when they get out of high school to pursue a career, they can get paid much more money in other parts of Europe in the West for doing the same job than they could here. And so a lot of these churches are seeing kind of a mass exodus of young people, college-age students who are traveling to Germany and France and Italy and other places just to get better work, because they just the economy's isn't able to pay them what they can get in other places. And so some of these churches, it's like a whole generation's getting wiped out because they're all leaving to go other places. And so they're dealing with just the absence of those people that are usually very active in the church. And so that's a challenge here. We had a service last night at Tony's church. I shared my testimony of what God had done in my life, really from the beginning, but especially over these last 14 years. It was a really special time together. I shared a message talking about making sure that we keep seeking the Lord, that in these days we need to seek Him more than ever before. And so I really encourage the people not to grow weary in that, not to get discouraged. And so we had a really great service. The people were responsive, and afterwards there was a young girl in the church who's newly born again, and she came up to me and she said multiple times, she just said, "Wow, I can't believe the transparency that you shared your story." She said, "We don't hear that in the church very often, where people are just very open and honest." And so she was kind of blown away. The Lord really ministered to her in a powerful way. She was really hoping I would come back and speak again. And so I know that the Lord touched her heart, and I'm sure He touched many others. And so I'm very grateful for that. We had a safe trip back last night, got back late last night, and then we're going to be traveling. We have a few things happening today, but also we're going to be traveling to the city of Kavadarci, and I'll be ministering in a service with two churches combined together that I worked with pretty closely when I was here the first time. And so looking forward to seeing Pastor Goran and their congregation, and to see what God's going to continue to do on this trip.